The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal problems.
In touch with the best online station, Zimnet Radio.
Yes, my time is exactly 4 minutes gone after the hour of 10. Kuno United Kingdom. Welcome to the show, Men's Corner. Pachirongaka patinokurukura dzakasiyana-siyana dzinenge dziri kuitika kuZimbabwe in terms of our politics there. Right, last week takati nedzimwe nyaya, but today we want to dwell on what has been happening in the past week. Number one, we want to talk about the legalization of growing of Mbanje, back home there. But I don't know, I haven't got much information about it really. I'm really banking on the guys calling in today and maybe shed a light on what are the implications of it. Because I am told that people have to apply for licenses to actually grow it, and also that they need to pay some money as well for that. So maybe this is a money-making machine. But unfortunately, they won't be sold on the street because that's illegal. But I just wonder if you legalize, such kuti vanhu varime, zvinenge zvichizoendeswa kupi kana dzacultivatwa zviya. What is going to happen there? Then in the second part of the show, we want to talk about the ZANU PF primaries. It may have been a shock to some people that some of the big guns, so-called big guns in the Mnangagwa administration failed to actually secure, enough votes during these primaries. People like, Muchangwa. And I'm told he's not happy at all with what's happening, and he's blaming every Tom and Jerry, about it. And he said that he is not accepting this vote, and I don't know where he's gonna take it further now. One just wonder, Kuti, this is the president's advisor failing. So how is he gonna advise the president to win? Some might want to ask. But anyhow, let me welcome the panel today. But let me start na Sekuru. I'm just wondering if he's got a heart attack there or not. Sekuru, are you alive there?
No.
Yeah, but you're still talking to me, so I presume your heart is still pumping.
So what was the question all about?
No, the question was commiserations.
All right, ask me what Abuda.
Oh, okay, all right. Sorry, Sekura, about that. Maybe next year you can go further.
Yeah, we should be home and try next year. We don't know. We are going to change a lot of things. We may have to start afresh.
Okay.
And be at the bottom. We may start with a new renewed energy and start cracking. So anything is possible.
All right. So Sekuru, I'm sure you're looking forward to the next season now.
Well, we have always looked forward to every season, so that won't change.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Sekuru, for that. It's good to have you on the show, actually, Sekuru. After such a disappointing results tonight. Sally, welcome to the show. Amen.
Aye. Thank you, DJ Sodza. Good evening, DJ Sodza. Good evening, Rosie. Good evening, Sekuru. Good evening, Wilbert. Good evening, Chief. Good evening, Zimbabweans, wherever you are. I hope you're having a good evening and that you will join us tonight.
Thank you so much, Sari, for that. Tete Rosie, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? How's everyone doing?
Yeah, not too bad at all. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. Mukoma Wilbert Maswera say.
Hello everybody, hello Sally, hello Sekuru, hello Rose, hello everybody, Chief, there, wherever you are, if you're in America. Welcome to the program, everybody who is listening.
Thank you so much. Chief Sose, how are you there in America?
How are you, DJ? Kuno kuti nani?
Makabi vamwe vese vadare vari pachirongwa makabi mhuri yeZimbabwe yakateerera mativi mana ose enyika.
Aiwa. Thank you so much. Teteros, maybe let me start with you there as a gift for coming in very early today. Right.
The early bird catches the worm.
That's the thing, yes. I just want to know in the first hour, really, let's talk a little bit about the legalization of how do you pronounce it? Marijuana. Marijuana, right?
Yes. Just say Dacha or Zulu.
Oh, right, okay.
Mbanje.
Mbanje, yes, Shona. Now, I don't know, Sisi, what you think about this so-called legalization of it? Now, someone was telling me that really they are not legalizing it. It's just that few people are going to be given licenses to grow it, and then it will be sold to specific companies only, and not to the people. What did you make of it?
Well, first of all, I was a little bit shocked by the cost of the license, which is 50,000 to actually get a license. Which means, the unemployed youth won't even have a chance to farm marijuana. So it means the people who already have money are the ones who are going to continue having money and farming. So that disappointed me a little bit. The second thing that I was concerned about was there was an announcement of you can now farm it, but there was no specifics on how this whole program would be implemented, what were the guidelines, what was the legislative laws, and that would actually govern, and how would they decide, okay, this is medical marijuana, what grades, what all the different types involved in this whole process. So I'm still confused about what's really going on with it. I'm still waiting to hear more.
You're still waiting to hear more. Maybe Sekuru has got more news to tell us about this legalization of Mbanje. Sekuru, what information have you got?
Well, I know there's a statutory instrument that was published seeking people to apply for licensing to grow the grass for commercial and medical reasons.
So it was just for commercial and medical reasons, and people will not be allowed to consume it.
Well, if it is not going to be consumed, then it should not be grown. People will be allowed to consume it, but in a prescribed manner.
Right. So, for you think this is a good move?
I don't know what to say, because the effects of unprescribed Mbanje are too familiar to me and to many other people. And once it is now commercially grown and recognized, and people cannot be arrested for growing it, what will stop people from stealing it and making a side business of it, because it has always been on the market, albeit difficult, much more difficult to grow openly. Now, if somebody is now allowed to openly grow it, and we know where it is grown, what are the temptations of us trying to go and steal it?
And sell it on the black market?
And sell it on the black market, because the market has always been there.
Yes.
How to get it, hold of it was much more difficult. But now that it is openly known where it is being grown and how it is being grown, what's going to stop other people from copying the planting and the growing techniques, and also stealing whatever they haven't even grown?
So that's the concern there from you, Sekuru. Anyway, thank you so much, Sekuru, for that. Sally, what did you make of it? This legalization of Marijuana.
Very stupid. Extremely stupid. In a country where employment is null, okay, and people are going crazy for jobs, now you want to legalize the growth of medicinal Mbanje. I mean, for heaven's sake, I've never seen anything so stupid in my life. How are you going to protect it? Number one. Number two, before you can even start, there have to be the companies, because you're only allowed to sell to certain companies. And those companies have to be in agreement with you, okay, and with the government. All right? My main problem with this whole thing is the security. I mean, can you imagine how you are going to have to secure that crop? I mean, every Tom, Dick, Harry and his spook will be trying to get in and raid the crop. Okay? So, I mean, it's almost like you were saying, well, here's a boat, you don't know how to sail, but we'll just throw it in the sea and make you sail it. I mean, it's completely and utterly stupid. I don't know what they're trying to prove with it. I really don't. Look, I think the legalization of Mbanje would be fantastic in the sense that then we do away with all the drug lords and all that illegal stuff and everything like that. Medicinal marijuana, I am completely behind. Okay, the oil of it, everything. But it's, you see, medicinal marijuana is completely different to the ordinary Mbanje you get in the street that makes you high. Medicinal marijuana, they take out those parts of the Mbanje plant that make you high, okay, and they extract the medicinal part of it, and you find different medicinal values, okay. So it's a very important plant, okay. It's fantastic for multiple sclerosis. It's fantastic for asthma. It's fantastic for epilepsy. But it's not one medicinal thing. There's different strains for different medical things, okay? So I support it 2,000%. But this crazy thing, I mean, this is like somebody is on Mbanje, and a very bad lot of Mbanje, okay? And you now, into the middle of this complete and utter mess, you throw growing medicinal marijuana. Please. So for me, it's just completely and utterly unthought of, unplanned. It's a typical ZANU PF nonsense.
All right. So despite the benefits of growing it, you think this is not good for Zimbabwe?
No, it isn't, because nothing is planned, nothing is ready, there's nothing in place that deals with the whole aspect of growing it. The most important part of it is the security. How are you going to secure that crop? You're going to hire a private army, a bunch of mercenaries, or you're going to hire Chamisa's vanguard or something? I don't know. I mean, it's stupid.
Very stupid indeed, you are saying there, Sally. Thank you so much. I don't know, but Mkoma Wilbert, what's your sentiments on this legalization of marijuana to certain, companies in Zimbabwe to grow,
I think in this particular case, really, it's a situation where you allow it to be readily available, and it easily get out of control, and even more and more people would start smoking it now. And it's one of those situations where once you have allowed it to start, it will be very difficult to control and to stop. And I don't see why we are going for such a crop when we could be growing other things and making a lot of money, perfectly legal, that are not addictive, and we can also easily control. That is what I would have thought we should be going, rather than take this high risk of what Sally was talking about there. I don't know whether the government has got those facilities to do that specialized extraction for picking up a particular drug in the plant for the various purposes. So to grow it commercially, and you don't have those facilities, it will only mean the drug will end up being smoked raw as it is, and more people just get addicted.
It will get misused there. So you don't think this is a good idea at all?
Honestly, I don't see why we're taking that unnecessary risk when we could be growing other things, plants, animals, and farming animals and so forth, and make. Zimbabwe agriculturally was one of the most successful nations as a producer of crops and animals. Why can't we go back there? Why do we have to now bring in this marijuana? And to be quite honest with our this issue of security, and also the marketing of it and the extraction of the drug and so forth. If you're going to start competing with countries like USA, you've got to have that kind of technology in place and that ability to be able to really meaningfully compete. And why are we taking that unnecessary risk? Because once people get addicted to it, it will be very difficult to win people off the drug again.
All right. Thank you so much, Mukoma Wilbert, for that contribution. Right. Mukoma, Chief Soswe, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know, what's your sentiment on this? Do you think it's a bad idea?
It's a bad idea, DJ. It's a bad idea, and I'm speaking from a point of view of someone who has friends and at least two cousin brothers, who are suffering, as I speak, from issues that they have to do with mental health, and those mental health issues were caused by the consumption of Mbanje by these guys. So the effects of Mbanje are far-reaching, especially to the young, and especially in a country which has 90% unemployment, and in a country where there's so much poverty. Poverty, unemployment, all those things, they drive the young to just want to consume Mbanje. And I'm saying that because I know for sure that it is going to be abused. Zimbabwe, we don't have the necessary mechanisms that will ensure that the young will end up not abusing the drug. This Mbanje is going to be grown kumaruzeva, but no garatese. They will need to have maximum security for people not to get in and steal, that Mbanje. And I also suspect that Zimbabwe will become, a center of marijuana trade, because they are going to give a few people those licenses. Obviously, it's their people up there. This is not for the ordinary people. This is not for the youth. It's not going to be helpful to anyone. It's something that where people sat down and discussed that this is what we want to do. I suspect there was something that was done. People sat down and agreed that we want to make money here. It's far from what we are talking about, that it's only for medicinal purposes. It's far from that. I think there is a cartel even that will be behind this, or if not now, the cartels are going to come in and take advantage of Mbanje trade in Zimbabwe. Now, look at it here, like they give 5 people licenses to grow Mbanje. What is going to stop someone who has been growing it in Wedza, in Chirumanzu, in Mutare? Because people have been growing Mbanje, you know, of course, albeit on a very small scale. Now, those illegal growers are going to grow it in large scale. And of course, they don't have licenses. They will just do the same way that people who are panning gold do, that they will go to someone who has a license and sell their products there, their Mbanje there, of course, at a slightly lower price. And then those who have licenses will go to wherever that Mbanje is supposed to be sold. I don't know whether they are going to put it on auction at Boca auction sales or TSB. I don't know where they are going to be selling it. You know, and that's another cause for concern as well, because our pharmaceutical companies like Dat Labs and Cape Holdings, most of them, they are closed, so they are operating at very low capacity. Who is going to manufacture that Mbanje into a finished product? Because most of it obviously is not going to be consumed raw as it is. It has to be processed. Who is going to do that? I think those are things that we should have looked into, revive those companies and make sure that Mbanje is just going to come straight from the farm into a well-established factory. Because failure to find market or proper market or adequate market in Zimbabwe, it means people will end up even exporting illegal, just the same way as gold is being exported illegally. So I think this is a very bad idea, and I don't even know how it's going to help Zimbabwe, how it's going to help the youth. Yeah, if someone wanted really to market it, they would have told us all the modalities. These are the companies that are going to be set up so that they will start manufacturing, and we are expecting that so many jobs are going to be created from that. Nobody has done it. Nobody has put anything in numbers. It's just we've legalized Mbanje, and even the legislation, if they put it in place, I'm telling you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We are going to have a lot of illegal Mbanje dealing in Zimbabwe, and it's going to affect us.
Thank you so much, Chief Soswe, for explaining. Everyone on the panel is completely lost. So I've sent a message to you, my brother. Please, can you tell me why you think it's a good idea? Because it looks like you're thinking it's a very good idea there. Because everyone who has spoken so far, they're saying it's a bad idea. Now tell me why it is a very good idea for us to grow Mbanje to Zimbabwe. I've been told that there are some advantages to do so. It's no but you need to have manufacturing companies to convert that marijuana into tablets and whatever Sally was telling us there, medicine. But if you don't have that in situ, how are you going to work it out? Mari mambanje dzacho musina kukuzondodziisa kuti mumanufacture zvamukuda kuti mumanufacture zvacho. What happens there? I don't know. Mukoma teach maswera say.
Square zvangu mukoma maswera way.
Yes, commiserations there.
Takazvitadza pirikutanga yekupaya.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Takachikora yekupaya.
Ndio pamakarasa mukadai makarowa foni ilipo paya.
But no beds we do what we makurezi like vamboenda vawe.
All right. Mkomatishi, thank you so much. I wonder where you've been all these weeks, but hey, maybe you've been busy there, I don't know. Welcome to the show.
At one point ndakanga ndisinganzwi zvakanaka ndakafema poison ndikagumisira ndam IC.
Oh, you don't say. Saka mudzi wamwe here kana muri mumatambudziko akadaro. I thought you were family.
We are family, yes, okay. I want to talk from a social commentator point,
Yeah.
and the medical pharmaceutical production point. Now, from a social commentator point, it's what generally alarms all Zimbabweans, because each and every Zimbabwean family has seen the effect of Mbanje on family members, and all of them are very unpleasant effects. Some of us who grew up in the war will tell you that some people that are alive today died because they smoked. Some atrocities that were committed during the war could have been avoided with people not smoking. That is the sum total of our marijuana exposure and experience. There is a small enclave between Karibadem and Wange and Victoria Falls in the Tonga Binga Valley, where people have been growing cannabis for centuries. And these people are complete experts. They can breed it, they can do whatever, they use it both medicinally and recreationally. So Zimbabwe already has this thing going in all its variations. So the unfortunate thing about us Zimbabweans is we tend to moralize everything as a result of the political trauma that we're born to, and also Christian religion and missionary education that makes us look down on anything the moment it was condemned by the West. The matter the West used to condemn cannabis, but it's them again in their pharmaceutical industries coming back to want to plant it so they could have this THC. Forgive my coffee. Now, what you need to understand is that THC is a concentrate that is derived from many plants that will have to be purified to get the THC. Now, when we smoke it raw in its natural form, which means to get as high as we get takes very, very, very little. Now, imagine if our people, without any regulatory framework, suddenly they are exposed to high doses of resin marijuana or concentrated, super refined THC. This is the concern that most Zimbabweans that seem to be ignorant to other people who are complaining against this see. They see this higher levels of an already existing problem rising higher because there's no regulatory framework. There's no way they will be able to control someone climbing over the fence and tuning a couple of plants for themselves. And these are high-grade plants. And suddenly, we used to have Malawi, Gold, Mozambique. Now we will have from marijuana farm. That will make it. So these are the concerns from the social community. So from that perspective, I think the government is rushed in not doing any PR whatsoever, without doing any public consultations and easing of the public mind and conscience on the issue. There's nothing wrong with everything in cannabis stuff, but I think it has to be done properly and gradually, without just jumping in because, in Canada they already done it successfully. In America they do that. That's the argument that you find on social media. It asks the person, is there any pharmaceutical today? You've been exposed to any pharmaceutical today? If you manage anything pharmaceutical, no clue. No, that's their reasoning. So So we have a problem that the society itself clearly is not ready. Clearly, without a question. Our society is just simply not ready. We're exposing our society more and more. Government will make a bit of money in terms of taxation. Their political strategic partners will make a killing. But our people who suffer, as always, they will become again guinea pigs in their population.
Okay.
Just a quick one to end it.
Yeah.
On the medical pharmaceutical side, it is proving to be a very important ingredient in alleviating pain, especially in people with chronic illnesses, people with HIV, tuberculosis, cancers, and so on and so forth, are being prescribed that to take the mind away from that. So the effect really is still to use it as bad. It's really still to use it as a drug instead of it being taking. So if Zimbabweans are condemning it for that, there's still no other side to anyone trying to say there's this medical whatever, there's no story like that. So when it is used for treating other illnesses like glaucoma, it's not on its own. It is a combination therapy. So people need to have a clue what they're arguing about. I always suggest go to the research countries, especially research sponsoring development education. Get a clear understanding and argue point of knowledge to challenge our government. That's it.
Okay, right. Thank you so much. And this was, I don't know, we were hearing about 90%, but I think we got what you're trying to say there.
That's what I did, Jesus. Mascora say Maria Zimbabwe. Analyst, yes, Mascora say.
Yes, I know what you want to go, you're rushing somewhere, but first of all, can I ask you to say per weekend now UK? What's the program?
Yeah, UK, to come Sunday. So the leadership come Sunday, and the same day there will be a mass rally. It's Bedford from 2 p.m. The Pevenamo, postcode MK437PH. Again, MK437PH. So this it's an MDC Alliance rally. So tinangatine utekwa we leadership urikuya na President Shamisa kusanganisira President BT we PDP anonga aripo, tinana Kota anonga aripo, Honorable Amos Chibaya National Organizing Secretary vanonga varipo, tine youth tine kumadzimai. So yes, apart from the mass rally, there will also be some other activities after the rally.
Now, yes, I know there's a lot of posters going through social media and all that, but I'm just wondering here, can you and Vachamisa spare us half an hour pano pa Zimnet Radio kuti tibvunze mibvunzo iri kubvunzwa newani tizvinzwire from the host mouth?
Yes, that is not a problem. I can organize that. Munozongo off the radio mozongo ndiudza slot ya muri kuda nechi netime yake, then I can arrange that, and then Zimbabweans we can share with the Zimbabweans the new Zimbabwe going forward. Yeah.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much, Wapev. I don't know, you want to comment anything about the legalization of marijuana? What is the MDC's position on it? We've had Mukomatishi telling us from both sides of the coin there. What's your take on this one? I know you want to go Mongoti Gaga industry.
I think briefly it is misplaced, priority. Zimbabwe, Tinema pressing needs, so much pressing needs. Up to now, we don't have a roadmap to a free and fair election. My election is here around the corner. And Mbanje is not a priority for Zimbabweans. We don't have cash in the banks. and Mbanje is not a priority for Zimbabweans. We don't even have, up to now, we have not implemented in full the constitution yakavoterwa nevanhu in 2013, 5 years later. That should be the priority, not nyaya yokuti. I mean, one would wonder who even triggered, who was advocating, who is that person who sponsored the bill. Mtemo yokuti pass kuti anzi legalize, the growing of Mbanje, both for whether it's for scientific or for research purposes. That is not the pressing needs of Zimbabweans, and I don't think the government should even bother with that. They should actually have concentrated on what is the pressing needs for Zimbabweans between now and the election. So yes, in short, that's what I wanted to. I know that there are only 3 countries, including Zimbabwe in Africa. The other one is Lesotho, the other one is Malawi. Look at the 2 countries. For what? What benefit has this brought to Lesotho? What benefit has this brought to Malawi? Yeah. So sorry, DJ Sodza. So that was my contribution.
Oh, all right. I know. Thank you. Ndatenda zvaanga vapepe tozotaura kuseri so that we can organize the interview. Yeah?
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. Right. Ndozvo zvinoita Zimbabwe. Zvandakuita panapa regai ndimboti muchitoro vijana. I want to talk a little bit more about the ZANU PF primaries. What is happening to the big fish in the Mnangagwa government losing the primaries? Can we draw some lines on what's happening here? Kanabuti is just a
It is a Thursday, and you know what that means. It's a men's corner show with yours truly, DJ Sodza.
This is a disclaimer. The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal problems.
In touch with the best online station, Zimnet Radio.
Do you want to be a DJ or presenter? Are there times when you feel like you can do it? This is your chance to be on radio. Come join us and get the best training on how to be a professional DJ. Get in touch, email us at personnel@zimnetradio.com and fulfill your passion. Zimnet Radio, the people's choice.
You're listening to Zimbabwe's finest radio station, broadcasting worldwide. Zimnet Radio, the people's choice. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You are listening to DJ Sodza live on ZimNet Radio.
Right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sorry, before I read, I've got a little, a very small thread that I want to read here. But can you tell me what's the difference between a DJ and a radio presenter?
DJ is a disc jockey, so it's normally music, okay, and a radio presenter presents radio, like what you were doing.
Oh, okay, yes. Because I was told by someone the other day that you should refrain from saying you're a DJ. You're not a DJ. You are a radio presenter. Yes.
Yeah, you see, nowadays it's all sort of mixed in together. It's all sort of mixed in together. So, I mean, it's... But before, a DJ was a guy that was in... He was a disc jockey. He played the music. He worked in discos as a DJ.
Yeah, in nightclubs and the rest of it.
Yeah, But nowadays... Sorry.
Jockey.
That's
why it's called a disc jockey.
Yes.
Yeah, because he plays music.
Yeah.
He jumps on the next. Wow, 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 wow. You see?
Like Sodza. Broadcasters.
Okay.
Yeah, Sodza is a presenter.
Radio broadcaster.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a presenter. Radio presenter.
So these are broadcasters, because they do broadcasting. These presenters do broadcasting.
Okay, thank you so much, Nkoma Teach, for that. Now, this one here, someone sent to me, saying that 7 Zimbabwean government ministers and several allies of President Emerson Mnangagwa were defeated in primary elections for parliament. The results showed on Thursday, which means today, as disputes threatened to divide the party ahead of the polls set for July. The internal ZANU PF poll was a major test of the party's capacity to organize following last November's resignation of the long-ruling 94-year-old Robert Mugabe, who was ousted from power when his top army generals turned against him in a coup. Voting in the primaries, which took place on Sunday, was extended to Tuesday in some constituencies due to disagreements over who should vote. Late ballot deliveries and accusation of bribery and cheating by some candidates. Opam Chinguri, who holds the 4th most senior post of national chairperson in ZANU PF, was defeated by a little-known rival in the race to represent the party in Eastern Manicaland province. Christopher Muchangwa, an outspoken war veteran leader and a Mnangagwa special advisor, lost to a relatively unknown figure in the party. In a letter to ZANU PF National Commissar seen by Reuters, Muchangwa rejected the result and said he would challenge it. There we have. Mnangagwa, 75, in a statement said despite teething in commas problems during the primaries, he was happy with the voter turnout. Official figures from many constituencies, however, showed turnout was very low. We have sent clear signals to those who have chosen to pit themselves against the sheer might of our party, he said. Some areas were yet to vote due to irregularities on the voter registration, while results were pending in others. Several losing candidates were contesting the results. Mnangagwa's main rival in the presidential vote, whose date is yet to be set, is 40-year-old Nelson Chamisa, who took over leadership of the main opposition movement for democratic change. Sekuru might have something to say about that. Anyhow, guys, we are hearing that Wanamchangwa Nana Opam Chinguri lost the primaries. What do you make of this Sekuru looking from outside?
Well, it's not very surprising, but it's equally surprising to those that do not follow the politics of the country. ZANU PF, as we know now, as we know it now, is not the proper ZANU PF. the proper ZANU PF is gone, never to be recovered. This ZANU PF that you see now is a fragment of the original ZANU PF that was being led by former President Robert Mugabe. And even that ZANU PF that Mugabe was leading at the end of his career, it also moved up into a faction of people who either believed in Mugabe's leadership of the party only, or were young people frustrated with the longevity of the comrades that were leading the country in government. So we are talking about a ZANU PF that is completely distorted in terms of the definition of ZANU PF. And we are also aware that the demise of Mugabe and his wife did not sit well with the young people who thought he was actually promoting the young, when in fact he was promoting his wife. But there are some young people who identified and chucked out by the Lacoste faction. The others that remained, they didn't want to be chucked out. They just kept silent. But on the ground, there was a groundswell of support for the younger generation to take over some, or if not all, of the ministerial posts that were failing the country. Because remember, these young ZANU PF people, some of them are getting work because of the connections to their parents, but the majority are only getting the job of beating people during elections. And that does not go well for ZANU PF. It was sustainable because of the figure of Mugabe. Now it's no longer sustainable because the new guy was not seen as a proper replacement of Mugabe. So I'm not surprised that the young people are toppling the older generation in these primary elections. But I don't think Obama Chunguri lost. I think something has been added there which is not correct. However, she was reportedly having lost to somebody. But I think it was corrected that she had won.
All right. Thank you so much. What about Chris Mchanga?
Chris Mchanga refused to accept the results, but the results were announced as him having lost. So the issue is, what do we know about how he is going to spin it? Like when Mnangagwa was dismissed, he said Mnangagwa had not been dismissed and he will be back in 2 weeks' time to rule you. And he was back in 2 weeks' time to rule us. Now, Mnangagwa said, I'm not going to accept police maneuvered electoral processes of people who do not have support, and I'm going to prove it. And then he sends people who go to the HQ to sing Bora Musango at the ZANU PF sacred ZANU PF Shake building.
I'm told it has been happening this afternoon, people going to sing there, but I saw some of the videos coming through, very handful people there really singing at the ZANU PF headquarters.
Yeah. Now, when that happens, then what do you think? What do you think is happening? There is probably Mchangwa has got people that were banned from voting in the primaries because they are not members qualified to vote on the ZANU PF registers, but they support him as a person, which is the same problem that we have in the MDC, where Chamisa has got a lot of people who follow him as followers or supporters, sympathizers, admirers. But if you go to the structures, he doesn't have the people.
Okay. All right. So he's suffering the same fate as well. Thank you so much, Sekun, for that. I don't know, Sally, what did you make of these primaries where some, ministers losing their seats there and losing their passport to go and contest?
Do you know, This is the only time I'm going to say it. I am so thankful that Mnangagwa took charge of ZANU PF. Because now all the stuff is coming out and everybody is seeing it. I mean, to me, it is a complete and utter joke. Really, I mean, and Chris Matswanga, that one, I can't stop laughing. If I'm sad, I find a Chris Matswanga video and I watch. Because, I mean, he is just a living comedy show. You look at his face when he's talking. I mean, I don't know how anybody can take that man seriously. And the stuff that he says. Donald Trump, here we come. He doesn't agree with this and that, and please, people.
Who would you rather have? Who would you rather have, Mutswanga or Chamisa?
Matswanga.
All right. Okay, continue, Sally, no problem.
You know why? Because I can laugh at the man. Okay? Chamisa, I want to climb inside that video and remove his family jewels so he can never ever produce anything again. No, please, hey. No, you know, ZANU PF has always been an enigma, okay? The mysterious thing, and it operates in the dark, and people are getting beaten, and where, all this kind of business. Now all of a sudden, come on, poof, and there it is. We can all see it. You can go and buy ballot papers. You can go to a police station and buy ballot papers. I mean, come on. This is, if anything, this is absolutely brilliant. Because you know what? It suddenly takes this mysterious thing about ZANU PF and it squashes it like a cockroach. And people see what is happening. And people see, okay, not a lot of what is happening now happened before under Mugabe. I mean, Mugabe used to tell this person, you go there and the people will vote for you, and that one go there. Everything was controlled by him, okay? But a lot of the enigma and a lot of the mystery is suddenly destroyed. And now, I mean, I can go to Zimbabwe, go to the cop shop there in Mashingo and buy me some ballot papers and give it out to people to vote for me. I mean, hey, only in Zimbabwe. But thank you, Mnangagwa, for taking over ZANU PF. Because seriously, you know, just as a street person, for me, it's a joke. It really is. It's fabulous. I love watching it. It makes very good reality TV.
Yeah, you're enjoying it in the comfort of South Africa there, son.
Yeah, well, here, I mean, they petrol bomb your trucks and cars. So I don't know whether it's better here or there. You know, what can I do about it? Nothing. The people that are in Zimbabwe, they are the ones that can do something about it. And so far, I don't see anything coming out of it. People are following bling and glitz and glory and loud mouths and flashy cars and empty promises. And so, I mean, it's a circus. It seriously is a circus. And I'm longing for the day that people stand up and say, right, that's enough. And they unite and they come together and they stand up as a force and they take these people on. But while you've got one person shouting, let's hit the streets, let's do this, okay? And the next minute you look, it's you, your spook and your shadow, and that's it. Everybody else has run away. Nothing's going to be solved. The most, you know, the saddest thing, those stupid reforms, nobody is fighting for those reforms. And how long I have spoken, You have to hold Mnangagwa's feet over the coals. It has to be a daily thing. It has to be every single day, the same thing. But nobody does anything. Everybody's running after Chamisa there, okay? The bodyguards, the flashy cars, the bling, the vanguard military, whatever they are. And Mnangagwa's, in the meantime, Mnangagwa's mafia, international mafia business, whatever you want to call them, are getting in, okay, and grabbing everything. And everybody's, So, what can I do? The only thing I can do is laugh at the reality show that ZANU PF has created and thank Mnangagwa for it. There we are. More than that I can't do.
All right. Sally, thank you so much for that. For those that are just joining us, it's 11 o'clock p.m. kuno ku United Kingdom. Tripachilongwa chet Men's Corner, where we are, just discussing a little bit about what has happened in the ZANU PF primaries, where we have seen some of the Mnangagwa's loyalists losing to some unknown candidates there in the ZANU PF. What does this mean? I don't know, Tete Rosie, have you been following? I know that it's not part of your cup of tea following ZANU PF, but have you been following?
Yes, I followed a little bit, but not really that much.
Yes, what did you make of it?
It's a joke. Everything about ZANU PF is a huge joke. This would have been a perfect time for opposition to be organized and united, because it's very clear that ZANU PF has zero support. It's very clear that they are very disjointed within themselves. So this would really have been a perfect time for opposition to be serious.
So, I mean, what you are saying is this shows us that there is no support. ZANU PF really hasn't got support in the grassroots.
No, it doesn't, because just based on reports coming out, there's been a very low voter turnout. It's been very chaotic. There's been stuffing of ballots. There've been people running away with the ballot box. There was a report of one, I think, Anzani Makupe or something, running away with the ballot box and then coming back with it stuffed, and he won. I mean, it's just drama and chaos. There's absolutely nothing serious about what, you can't even take these people seriously. But the only sad part about all of this is that in the midst of the chaos, there doesn't seem to be a lot going on in the opposition that we can look forward to. So it's actually sad. We need something sober in Zimbabwe, and it just doesn't seem to be there.
So what you're saying is there's no opposition in Zimbabwe as we speak to capitalize off the unrest that is in the ZANU PF itself.
Yes, this would have been the perfect time for opposition to get their act together, to galvanize and unite together and win this and take it away from ZANU PF. I mean, it's very clear to Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans do not want ZANU PF. They are tired. They want nothing to do with it.
But there's no alternative.
Well, the alternatives are there, but even from reports now coming out of even within the MDC area, MDC Chamisa, internal people who supported Chamisa are saying we're being prepped for a GNU. There's no will to win. So they're upset about the situation. So I don't know. Maybe we're all confused. Maybe something will prop up. Maybe maybe Chamisa will take it to the State House. I don't know. I just really feel that there was a real chance for opposition to show the difference between ZANU PF and opposition. Like, we have to be, when you're opposition, there has to be a clear difference. We can say this is what is different. This is what they stand for. I still haven't seen the MDC manifesto yet, and from what I understand, there is no manifesto until after elections because they're scared that ZANU PF will steal it. I don't know. Maybe I'm confused. You know. So I mean, I think ZANU PF was trying to do this primaries to show that ZANU PF is a democratic party. They were trying to show that ZANU PF is now a democratic party, and they've changed. But there's nothing that has changed about ZANU PF. That's very clear. And from what I see, it seems like there seemed to be some fight between people who were loyal to Mnangagwa, people loyal to the military, trying to remove each other, make sure that there's no G40. So the election was more or less about purging one another and keeping certain people so that they would, they would get their loyalists. So it wasn't really, there was nothing democratic about it, which is more evidence that there's nothing, ZANU PF will never be a democratic party, no matter how much they say or how much they pretend or how many smoke screens they put up. And this is why it would really be great if opposition would be able to show that difference. We are a democratic party. There is a difference. We are sober. We're organized. We know how to run a country. It would have been easy for people who have the will to show they're the complete opposite of this junk of a nightmare called ZANU PF. That needs to go.
All right. Thank you so much, Teterosi. So you are saying that it's a lost opportunity here. Mkoma teacher, what's happening?
Well, we predicted this, didn't we? That if will implode at local level, those people will suffer from divided loyalty. Can you hear me?
Just about.
I don't know what someone else is making a bit of noise.
Are you outside?
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
My voice is just affected by the fact that I'm coughing.
Oh, okay. It's quite clear now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that we did predict this and said ZANU PF will be split at the grassroots level because people are going to suffer from divided loyalty. And that's what is happening. There are people that are completely anti-coup within ZANU PF, not necessarily to do with G40 or Lacoste. There are people that are just principled, who don't believe this is a solution, who see a long-term effect problem that can arise because once these guys get away with murder, as they have done, what is to stop them in the future? There are people that are wise enough to see that. Then you have a situation of people that are sycophants, that are looking to position themselves for the feeding trough, so that they can get whatever they will get from whoever they will have ensconced into a position of power. So as a result, these votes that you are seeing split are clearly demarcated because the military itself is desperate to prove that Mnangagwa is their man in terms of their puppets, because they are in charge and they are the ones that are loved by the people, and they are the war veterans. They know how to work with the people. So they're not going to allow people from either Robert Mugabe or from Emerson Mnangagwa to supersede them. They would like to see more of their own, especially the officer corps that are retired, taking control in a civilian fashion and thus legalizing military rule. Because the soldier will always be a soldier and will be obedient to them. So the fact of the matter is that vast majority of ZANU PF parliamentarians must be ex-soldiers or ex-senior war veterans. That is the situation. Finished, no stories. Are we together?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So the military needs to get the majority, lion's share of seats, be they parliamentary or be they council. So wherever ZANU PF candidates are, say for instance in a province, there's 10 positions. 8 of those must go to the military or war. Now the problem is some of the war veteran leaders like Trump are associated with the civilian side. You see? So they go there trying to play both sides and trying to protect their civilian master, for instance, Nanga. And they end up with a situation whereby they themselves become targets. I don't too long get a business no switch. This is the ego problem this guy is already facing, this guy called Trump. He is disliked, he is lost, and everyone thinks he overplayed his role in the coup, and they want to put him in his right place.
Right. Okay. So thank you so much, Komatish, for that, because someone was writing to me here that please, can you tell your panelists to don't talk about the MDC alliance when you are talking about ZANU PF primaries. I don't know kuti wanga uri kurevani kwanzi musataure nezve MDC anachamisa alliance and all that, whilst the topic is about the ZANU PF primaries. Good point, Ukoma. Thank you so much. Right, I don't know Ukoma Tishi Mama Pete Chpambebe. Sorry Ukoma Ngarabe.
Why the big wigs are falling? That was the question. Why are the big wigs falling?
Yeah.
The big wigs are falling because one, they are seen as having the ones that are loyal to Mugabe. The military is going to try to establish its own order. Even the civil service, the military will want to change it. They already have their own people. They can't various ministries. So the situation that you have is civilians that are in Lacoste who are expected to be elevated, getting frustrated, and they are toppled instead of elevated. Another case in point is Paul Mangwana. Paul Mangwana, at any given time, would be expecting a ministerial post. And certainly he's not even going to be an MP. I mean, he's going to go back to his business practice as a lawyer first. Imagine the way they were jubilating Trump on the day Mugabe retired. So this is the problem that you have. You have 3 spheres of power in ZANU PF. War veterans, the army, and the Munanga Kwana Coast. And there is no center of power except for Chiwenga because he conducted the coup. So Munanga got a set of power figuratively. Mutranga thought he was a set of power because he's chairman of War Veterans Association. But again, that is figurative. Because under the Zimbabwe Defense Act, War Veterans Association are an auxiliary force. So which means they report to the Commander Defense Force. Which end up leaving Mnangagwa versus Chiwenga direct. So situation is either Mnangagwa accepts to be a puppet or negotiates a quota of people, number of people that he wants to accommodate. The rest the army will deal with. Wow.
Those are proper dynamics there. It's complex dynamics then in the ZANU PF.
Serious ones. It's about to collapse from within because the center is not going to hold. It's not holding now and it's not going to hold. There's tensions.
Right. Thank you so much, Mkoma Teach, for that. Regarding go kuna Chief Sose. Chief Sose. Hezo guys kwanzi wanamchangwa, they're furious there. They thought they were just going to, sail through. Sevana wakarwa hondo wakapisa mugabe, and now is in the office of the president, is the chief advisor, special advisor, and all that. Why wouldn't people vote for Mchangwa?
Well, DJ, to answer your question, it's not a decoy. What is happening in ZANU PF is very real. The chaos is very real. This is going on the Boram Sango Chaya, and Akambo Taura. When Mnangagwa came into power, we said the biggest mistake that Mnangagwa has made was that when he came into power, he chose to be vindictive. He chose division over unity. Achingopinda akatanga kuti pasine mandu, and then the following morning, people belonging to G40 faction were being paged. They were being recalled from parliament. They were being, police were set after them, and they were being arrested. That was an opportune time for Mnangagwa to have united the party. Instead of going after G40, instead of going after his adversaries, he could have just taken that opportunity to unite the party, just for the sake of the survival of ZANU PF. Doesn't that story sound familiar? I'm sure most people are already relating, to what I'm saying, because we had also someone who took over power using unorthodox means, just like what Mnangagwa did, and he came into power, and instead of choosing unity, over divisiveness, he chose divisiveness, and he started recalling members of parliament. He started paging. He started firing people left, right, and center. I'm sorry, brother, but we should not be talking about MDC. I mean, ZANU PF doesn't exist in a vacuum. There's no way you can talk about ZANU PF and not talk about MDC, or talk about MDC and not talk about ZANU PF. This is a very similar picture. We are seeing a situation where people could have united. MDC, Chamisa could have taken that opportunity that he had grabbed power, and he could, instead of continuing, he could just have united the party, and now it would just be smooth sailing. Saka, is also not going to watch in DJ, but this moment, this 2018, is the best chance ever that the opposition will ever have to destroy ZANU PF completely. We don't even need a unity government. People should not be scrambling to go to Mnangagwa so that they can be prime ministers or ministers of what and what. This is the moment where we could have dislodged ZANU PF. And I'm not saying ZANU PF is on its knees, but I'm just saying this is the weakest ZANU PF the opposition would ever face. Because once ZANU PF gets into a unity government or wins completed these elections in 2023, ZANU PF would be untouchable. So it makes me angry because we have people who are throwing away a golden opportunity that had been presented to Zimbabweans to just get rid of ZANU PF and kick it out completely. Because right now all we needed to do was a unit of purpose for all the opposition parties to unite. How difficult can it be for Chamisa and Kupe and Maimujuru and all the other opposition parties to just come together and make a grand coalition, because they know what they want. All of these opposition parties, they want ZANU PF out. So why not just come together and kick ZANU PF out, and then we sort our mess after that? And then I mean, I feel sorry for people right now who be singing with Chamisa Chete Chete, Chamisa, and thinking that Chamisa is going to win 51% under these circumstances, even when ZANU is at its weakest ebb like this. I am telling those people right now, it's not going to happen. Chamisa cannot win 51% in the present circumstances. But if they come together as the opposition, I'm telling you, we're going to just sweep ZANU PF aside. Every vote counts. Every vote matters. And this is what we should be focusing on, that we get any single vote that we can get. But unfortunately, that's not happening. It's not happening. So we are just losing a golden opportunity here. ZANU PF is right there. They are weakest, and they are going to regroup after this, and the opportunity would have been missed. And we are putting the generations that are to come in trouble again for the next 30, 40 years.
So mati mimi ya sorry pana mkoma wakutanzi musatauri nezvimamwe mabato taurai nezveZANU PF chete. You're talking about ZANU PF primaries, but you're saying the two goes hand in hand here. You are
the
saying
similarities are glaring, you can see. Similarities are just there.
Okay. Aywa, thank you so much, Chief Sosete. You're not surprised by what's happening in ZANU PF at the moment. The party is not stable. Mkoma Wilbert.
Hello.
Yes, Mkoma Wilbert, what's your 2 cents on this one? Why do you think people like Mangwana and Changwa losing the primaries? Is that raise any eyebrows?
Somebody had to lose. This is the reality here.
But these are big fishes, aren't they? How could they lose?
Yes, these are big fishes, and some of the big fishes did manage to get through, but the reality is we have unemployment at 90%. There are millions of people out there who are hungry, and right now in Zimbabwe, the only best job going is being a public official. And unfortunately, there are only 200 of them. So they're fighting. And if we think ZANU PF has been rigging the elections, wait until we see some of the opposition. Wait until we see the nomination day. How many independent candidates will there be? These elections are going to be contested not on the basis of principle or ideas, it's on getting a job. People are desperate. There are people who are talking of ZANU PF should have been united. You don't unite a party of so many people who are desperate to hang on to their job. Because if they lose, as long as they get a job, they will work with you. The minute they lose, they will cry foul. Some of those people we are talking about here saying, oh, so-and-so tried to rig. I can tell you, if somebody was to carry out an independent forensic analysis and investigation, you will find that those people they themselves tried to rig and they failed. Matsotsi Ageran, and that is exactly what is happening in ZANU PF. Anyone who thinks they could have united ZANU PF at this stage with the economy in a mess, everybody looking behind them, even the big chefs looking behind them, because they know. Look at people like Didmas Mutasa. Within a year after he lost his job with ZANU PF, he was destitute. Destitute. This is the reality. They can see it happening to those people. They know it will happen to them as well. Any of these people who have lost now, and I can tell you, even if G40 had won and prevailed in November, we would have the same problem within G40, because a lot of the people who are now saying they are faithful Lacoste supporters, I can tell you it was a question of, if G40 had won, they would have sworn that they've always supported G40. Just as much as people who are in Lacoste right now, in government right now, a lot of them would happily wear Mnangagwa's regalia, but they, in their heart, some of them, they still support G40. Some of them still support Mujuru. If they got into power now, if they were to get some position, they will support Nankiri Lacoste. But now that they are out to revenge. All of a sudden now they are anchored with the Lacoste has been increased. No one is going to unite ZANU PF. That's as much as no one can unite the opposition. When you've got only 200 jobs to fight for, you cannot share them evenly to satisfy everybody. So therefore, then you can expect the fight to go on. These elections are about power, period. And whoever loses, they'll cry foul. That's as much as when we come to the national elections, ZANU PF will try to rig them. And I can tell you now, these opposition people who are saying, let's contest them, and some of them even claiming they've got strategies of how to win rigged elections. When the morning after the voting is done and they've lost, they will be the same ones who will be coming on this station saying ZANU PF rigged. That is the reality. That's the unfortunate reality we're talking about here.
All right. Thank you so much, Mukoma Wilbert, for that. Now, Tishine time, Panapa, we've got a half an hour. But I was just wondering, guys, if at all I have this opportunity to ask Chamisa a question, in the coming few days, live on radio. Chief Sose, what one or two questions really do you want me to ask him?
Okay. Let's ask him. Why you would not want to work with. Why you would not be so keen to work with fellow opposition members like ZANU PF, for example, and all the other notable opposition parties like Alamai Mduru. That's what we think. That's the direction it should be. Going towards. Uniting the opposition so that our chances are better and bigger. And why is he seeming to be leaning towards uniting with ZANU PF than with those opposition parties? If you look at the statement that he has made in the past 3-4 weeks, they've been showing, his alienation to work with Mnangagwa than with all the other opposition parties. He's saying Mnangagwa is a liberation war hero. Let's respect him. I think if you're an opposition leader, I think those are words that you can never utter. Because the liberation war hero for who? For what? What has he done? Yes, he liberated. He was part of the liberation struggle. But are we enjoying anything from that struggle? He has done a lot of things. He has blood on his hands, and you are more keen to work with that person, and you are telling your supporters to respect him. And he has also been saying, "Oh, let's start attending the independence celebrations. Let's start attending the Heroes celebrations." What are we celebrating at the independence? He was there. What was he celebrating? In the Heroes Eka, Heroes Day, which heroes are we celebrating? The thieves, the murderers. Morgan Changirai, we're supposed to be a hero who is more of a hero than any of all those people to the people of Zimbabwe, was denied that opportunity to be at the Heroes Eka. Why is he now saying we should be going to those events? To us, it just seems like, he wants to work with Mnangagwa. He's preparing us, preparing the nation to accept him working with Mnangagwa, in come August.
All right. Thank you so much, Chief Sose, for that. Very interesting indeed. I don't suppose, Sally, you have a question for him?
Yeah. Why didn't he...
Congress.
Why keep on refusing the... Pardon?
Why refuse Congress?
Yeah. Why does he keep on refusing the Congress? And I want to know where the money is coming from to pay for all those cars and all those bodyguards and all the glitz and the glamour and the uniforms for the vanguard when there's no money for Congress and there's no money for Changurai's medical bills and there was no money for anything. Now all of a sudden there's money. Where's it coming from? And what's his deal with Mnangagwa? There we are.
Yeah, Mkoma Sose have already said what's the deal with Mnangagwa there. For you, you just want to know why refuse Congress, and if it says that there is no money, so where is the money coming for this security? Guards and the cars that they
all
are
these
driving,
flash cars and
the
all the
convoys.
flash clothing and all that. I want to know where the money is coming from for that.
Right. Okay. Okay. Sekuru, I don't suppose you've got a question for me. Sekuru. Sekuru. Asmadzokera ku Mestaya Stadium ku Atletico Madrid.
Makanaka ere.
Tiri kubvunza kuti munoda kuti ndibvunze kuti chiko wachamisa wakaunzwa pano nawapepezi promised.
Achamisa zvinobva nokuti mimi muda kutaurira nazi kana muda kutaura FDC Alliance anopindura FDC Alliance kana muda kutaura FDCT anopindura FDCT.
Na imimi muda kuti ndibvunze mubvunzo wekuti
kuti kozvaari kuti unoda kuita maprimary elections ekuita kucontesta iye akaelectwa nani kuti acontesta.
Okay. Anokuudza kuti akaelectwa ne what did they call it that
National Council.
Yes, the National Council. I'm sure you say that.
No, kana akaelectwa ne National Council and the National Council wakanga wawane pisimbarati ro.
Okay.
Constitution hamuna kuti hapana pakanzi because the National Council can elect a president of the party.
It must be convened as the president.
Not in Congress. Okay. Anything else, Seguru, you want? Or that is one burning question you want to know?
The other question is andoda kuti ataura kuti pachende kuti chaanoti kupe munhu wakaipa zvikuru wakaipa zvakaipa kunyanya kudiko zvakasiyana nezvakaitwa nana Biti nana Walshman vari kufambidzana navo mazuva ano. Uyezve zvakafanana zvingaenzana here nokuti kubva mupati kwabhasikiti ungaripuresa kupe nabhasikiti here. Zvinoitika izvo zvaarivane ndiani kuvasamubvira naye bhasikiti kana kupe, asi unoona munhu achimanya achikwegura kuti ndauya nebhasikiti wave mubhasikiti kwaro. Apawo vanhu vari kuudza vanhu vasingatombozivi kuti chijonzi bhasikiti vakatotsamwa kuti ZANU PF yaitungamirira yakaoma yakavakanganisa.
All right. Sekuru, thank you so much. Tete Rosie.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you just want to ask him about the Congress. Why didn't they go to Congress, I suppose?
No.
No? Okay. What
I already know the answer to that one.
Okay.
I want to know. I just want to know I have a question about the criminal surrounding Chamisa.
Oh, is he a criminal?
No, I have a question about the criminal surrounding the president.
Oh, okay.
Him.
Okay. All right.
I have a question. I want to know more about Charlton Wende, where Charlton Wende gets his funding, and how that funding gets to MDC, and how Charlton Wende's wife is connected to the Namibian government. I need those answers.
Charlton Wende. What's the relationship between him and Charlton Wende? That's what you want to know. Yeah?
I want to know where Charlton Wende is getting his money to do a lot of this busing and a lot of stuff that's going on in MDC. I want to know how Charlton Wende's wife is connected to the Namibian government. And how Charlton Wende has privileges to the State House. Those are my questions.
Right, okay, thank you. My secretary is doing quite a lot of work here, writing things down. Thank you so much, Teteros, for that. They just called. Let me just finish with these guys, then I'll come to you. Manchester, Wilbert.
I would like to know.
I suppose you just want him to boycott these elections.
No, I'll ask him a pertinent question regarding that. They've already made 10 points, which they are saying these are the demands we want to be met before the elections. We are now only a few months before the elections. First of all, are they still expecting those 10 points to be met? And if they are not met, what are they going to do? At the present moment, they are saying in one breath they are not boycotting the elections, but also they are not going to go into the elections unless those demands are met. So at the present moment, people don't know. If they are not met, what exactly are you going to do? If you are saying you're not boycotting the elections?
Right. Okay. That's fine. So you want him to clarify these 10 points if they are met yet, and if they are not met, is he going to continue to participate in these elections? That's quite interesting. Thank you so much for that. Mkoma Teach, anything for you?
One big one.
Yes.
My only question to Mr. Nelson Chamisa is why doesn't he have the guts to bring back the EP and negotiate and escalate conflict to Cooper?
So why not bring back Cooper?
Why doesn't he have the guts to negotiate with Cooper?
Yeah. Has he not discussed with the Cooper? Do you think?
Yeah, he's gone there when he's going to Israel and try to bully it to attend.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Nah, thank you so much, Mkoma Teach, for that. Right, Tetewa Mashoko, welcome to the show.
Hey boy. Maswera sei.
Taswera kuri sei kwenyu.
Hayi kuri right tane mushana manje saka handi mafara iwai.
Ah, that's good. I can see you've got a bright smile there. Mushana unoita kuti vanhu musekerere.
Sichina.
Yeah. So I don't know, Mafona, we have spoken a little bit earlier on. I don't know if you're listening. We spoke a bit about the legalization of Mbanje and the consequences of it. And we spoke a little bit about why some of the big guns in Mnangagwa, rights, seems to have failed in these primaries. And now we're just talking about the visit of Chamisa, some of the questions that people would like me to ask him if we have that opportunity, which there is adamant that we will be given opportunity to ask him those questions here. I don't know what
ndanyatsonzwa zvangu ndiye yamamhanje apa ndofunga about 30 minutes to 45 minutes ago, and I just have very little to say. They say citizens get the leaders that they deserve, and I'm really happy and encouraged nekuti vanozviti nzodza rigwa pasi. So it means badiki, whatever work that is being done, vana vari kuteerera vacho vakaenda vakanoita zvavakaita tinovatenda chaizvo. Having said that, why did I say people get the leaders that they deserve? When people pane vanhu vari kuramba vachipoza questions about vanhu vari kutadza nei kuenda to the table, again it's about being tone deaf. So many people are saying it over and over. Umbimbindoga, power. Aphrodisiac isingabhadharwe mari. Well, it does. People just need to know they serve people. cholera munyika yakanaka fanika Zimbabwe, cholera, manesi achinzi ngaafayiwa adi. We should be humiliated in a country yekuti about 3 weeks ago anditi masenate kunoku vanga vari kuZimbabwe vakanyatsotaura vega kuti Zimbabwe we are proud. Any person wekuAfrica wekuZimbabwe tinoziva they are hard working and because they are educated, and this is what we are proud of. This is what we are producing. Hai vanhu ngatiregerei kuva too greedy kusvika pakadaro man. Asi chene.
All right.
And briefly, Mbanje, briefly, you know, again, it's about leadership. They didn't get the message right. You actually had to research and talk to people and listen to people. What was it all about? My $50,000. And in getting the message so wrong, vanhu vese vachafunga kuti Mbanje dziri right. Mbanje kune what you call it, research done inozikanwa navanhu vese vanoshanda mental health. For some people it triggers psychosis yanga yagara iri prodromal. Audzokere back kune zvaungori. Out of 20 people munodzirowa Mbanje panapa 24 hours, 19 people vagosumuka vagoenda kumba vagonodya sadza. Iwe wega uno trigger schizophrenia or just psychosis, maybe 4 days to 1 week. So, and people are not being told the dangers of that and then getting this misconception. Well, it's okay. I know my health hazards. It does, like everything else, I suppose.
All right. Thank you so much, Tetu Mashuko, for that. Mkoma Tafat, what must I say?
DJ Sodza, am I right there?
Yes, may I congratulate you on running the marathon there?
Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed it. Mira.
No, it's a good. It was for good cause as well. You're running it for the, in commemoration of the victims that were caught up with the bombings there.
Yes, it was in commemoration and commemorating that day and so forth. Yes.
Now that was a good cause. Yeah, and also, may I say commiserations there, Sekuru and Nkoma teacher deflated here today. And I know
not for me. I've always been Venga. I'm a Venga out. I've always been a Venga out. This is the final note to the coffin. Atobaya Venga.
So you didn't care. So you didn't care even if the team would have gone and won it?
No, DJ Sodza, this whole season.
Yeah.
In fact, since last season, I've not cared. Even if Arsenal wins, I don't care because I know ultimately it will end in disappointment, like today.
Oh, right. Okay. So you didn't want to hype in yourself. Makatosiana nazo kuti munoitiswa
Tatomirira August ready susu titange August. Ndopatatenga jezi reArsenal baba.
All right. I understand zvaku mukoma. I don't know kuti mama kateerera here and what you want to talk about nenyaya dzatataura, or maybe you just have a question for President Chamisa. I don't know why you've called him.
Well, I mean, I called him because there are some certain comments about Chamisa that I felt I needed to chime in. First I think I've been listening to how Sally has been really sort of denigrating the person of Nelson Chamisa. She has called him a thug. Today she said she would castrate Chamisa so that he cannot reproduce. We cannot allow such language to be said about a person who is far beyond from the person she is describing. Why she says that I feel is quite careless. If you dislike him, it's okay. Stick to the facts. But to call somebody a thug, to me, is out of line. To call somebody and say I'll castrate them so that they do not reproduce and have children of their own is also out of line. I think it's out of bad taste to say such. for somebody who is just aspiring to also take Zimbabwe to transform it to be a better country. Somebody who's fighting for democratic dispensation in Zimbabwe, and to call that person a thug, I think it's quite unfair. And, I'm not going to ask Ali to apologize, but I just want to highlight that.
Never.
I'm not surprised.
I will never apologize.
Okay.
I'm not surprised. You did say you would vote for Emerson Mnangagwa rather than Chamisa anyway. So
no, I didn't say I would vote for Emerson Mnangagwa rather than Chamisa. So get your story right. You want to accuse me of things? That's cool. Get your story right. Get your story right, sunshine.
No.
Okay, hold on. Sally, hold on. Mkoma Tafato.
Yes.
Yeah, no. It was not Mnangagwa. He said Mchangwa, actually. She said Mchangwa.
I heard ZANU PF somewhere in there.
Okay, anyway, that's fine.
I said I'd rather have Chris Matswangwa because at least I can laugh at him.
Alright, okay, guys. Hold on.
You can make
that's what I said. You said you'd rather vote for ZANU PF.
I'm sorry.
Moving on.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Guys, can you hold on a minute? Mkoma Tafatwa, go ahead and say what you want to say. After that, we are moving on now.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So, and then Panama comments Kunzi, Nelson Chamisa the MDC is not doing enough to reach out to other opposition parties so that they can all unite as one. Let me state this for the record. President Tsvangirai, before he passed away, wakaita a tour of Zimbabwe, trying to get consensus as to what the people wanted. And the people unanimously wanted a unified opposition. Thereafter, after that became very clear, President Tsvangirai started reaching out to other opposition parties. For example, Maimu Juru Party, Wanana Simba Mafoni, all of those people. We reached out. And we all know, DJ Sodza, that Tsvangirai went to a rally that was attended by Maimu Juru in the sense of unity. What then happened? Maimu Juru pulled out for some reason, which I do not want to say I'm privy to, but she was not comfortable to be part of that MDC alliance for her own justifiable reasons. So to say that the MDC is not reaching out so that we can all come under one umbrella is not true. The problem is there are other opposition parties who feel they're way too big or who have huge egos where they cannot accept to be part of the MDC led by Nelson Chamisa. Nelson Chamisa, for your record, was part of that MDC committee that was going to and reaching out to my opposition parties for a unified opposition. The big umbrella, the big tent concept, na Dr. Richard Tsvangirai. So I actually would say we need more opposition parties to be able to say, you know what, let's all come together and come and join this MDC alliance of ideas and political ideology. The opposition, MDC, is an organized party led by Nelson Chamisa. The party has structures that are functional, has structures that are organizing rallies that have become the charm of the country. You see, DJ Sodza, in thousands or in hundreds, if it is a disorganized party. It's organized, and we have been able to hold rallies throughout the country, which all of you people has witnessed. And yet somebody says they are disorganized. That is clear bias and dislike of Chamisa. And it's far from having an objective opinion about how organized the party is, at least is trying to be. You see people who are on the couch on Wednesday, where does he get his money? Where does MDC get his money? Their money. MDC is a party with members, which requires members to pay membership fees. That's part of the money. There is money that is allocated by the government of Zimbabwe to opposition parties. That's part of the money that is being used. But to try it and mystify and so forth, where the money of the opposition is coming from, it just shows a blatant bias against Chamisa again. So, you know,
so we're not allowed to ask where money is coming from. Is that what Tafat was saying? We're not allowed to ask questions.
I'm not.
According to you, we don't have a democratic right to ask questions anymore. Because if you ask a question, you're clearly biased. That's what you're saying. I don't have a right to talk about children when
and the night
No, I'm just asking.
Ma'am.
To ask anything at all. If it's negative, if you feel it's negative against Chamisa, or if it's a question that brings another question, you must be biased against Chamisa. So therefore, do not ask any questions.
In which the question is asked. Okay, that's the manner. It's the way the question is asked insinuates the MDC is somewhat getting money.
You're allowed to ask anything you want.
All right. Okay, guys. Hang on. Okay, guys. I might have to. Batai Makadaro, guys. Batai Makadaro.
I want to remind people.
Aiwa, Saka, you are having a problem with me responding to your question. You asked the question, I'm responding to it. So what's the problem there?
I didn't ask you a question.
What's the problem?
I didn't ask you a question. I asked Chamisa a question.
You asked the question. I'm responding to the question.
If we ask those questions, we are against Chamisa. That's what you said.
No, you got a response. So what's the problem?
You clearly said we are asking this question because you're against Chamisa.
I said certain people ask where MDC is getting its funding. And I said the MDC is a party in a membership. The MDC is in parliament and there's equal as representation that allows it to get funding from the government. So I answered your question. So what seems to be the problem?
Everything to the point where anyone who asks anything, whether you know everything about what goes on, that anyone who asks a question, it must be irrelevant, it must be biased, because you have all the answers. That's what you're saying.
I won't argue that.
You have the answers.
I won't argue that.
This is that. Your question is irrelevant. You're asking it because you're biased.
All right.
Even my question is irrelevant.
No, Tete Rosie. Hold on.
My basic answer with my evidence, it must be irrelevant.
Right. Tete Rosie, I might have to drop you a little bit there. I need to speak to you first.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
That line of thinking is so undemocratic, so ridiculous for someone who's saying it's a party of democracy.
Democratic. You asked the question, I responded.
Okay. Right. Okay. Mkoma Tafatso, hold on. Mkoma, that's George.
I asked Tafatso a question. I asked Chamisa a question.
So why are you having issues with it?
Hold on. Tete Rosie, can you speak to me at all?
No, okay. I asked Chamisa. You went around.
No. Listen. You're talking to me. You're talking to me now.
Because the moment you ask a question, because you were going around and you asked everybody and said, "What is your question for Chamisa?"
Guys, this is ridiculous. Right. Mkoma, that's George.
Magadi.
Mkoma, that's George. Would you like my job?
Yeah, I would like a job. Yeah.
I'll give you this show anytime, Mkoma, that's George, if you want it. Because my head is pounding now here. It's very, very difficult. But I know you've called us there. You've got something you want to participate.
Yeah, just in quick, I mean, I go to swim at this swim political, Minda, Tagamira would give it a Minda, Bagunes Rimwa, now we also what it is, I'm going to do in Rimwa, a taboo mushes.
Mbanje dzakuvumidzwa kakumusha dzakunzi dzirimwe. Are you happy with that, Mkomaras?
Wongo. Ndinozoti vamwe vatenderani nazvo.
Yeah, but it's a good thing for the country. Why do you say it's a good thing for the country?
Ndingangoti is good thing for the country nokuti dai vakaisa musoro pamwe chete vasaita zvotanzi mbanje dzakubvumidzwa saka dzangowanikwa pese pese vanenge vakatotadza chose asi kana vakwanisa kuti seZimbabwe iri open to business, as you know that kuti kuna naAmerica uku nedzimwe nyika they are legalizing, saka dai vakwanisa kuti vangoto under police protection vaisoona tuma coffee shop kuma tourist so they could have a tourist price, and then that money it can cover Zimbabwe to build up Zimbabwe so they can produce it, you know. So my tourists akauyo vasangofamba chingoti asi legal ungofamba vachingotenga mbanje pese pese potsvagwa unzi okay tuma coffee shop they come inside, they sit inside, you buy inside, and then you don't go out with anything. So that would be good for Zimbabwe. So that's why I'm saying it's good for economy.
No, some comrades are saying that it's good to legalize the kurimwa kwembanje, and when the tourists come to Zimbabwe, they can be sold to the tourists, and that bringing foreign currency. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, it brings foreign currency.
So what about the people in Zimbabwe? Would they be allowed to buy that mbanje?
If they are Zimbabweans, which we use, they're not going to take price in Zimbabwe. So there's a Zimbabwean price and foreign prices. And so you don't want to have my foreigners, you don't need to have foreigners end up moving all over the city and looking for the weed and to how to buy weed. And while it's advertising that Zimbabwe, is legalizing, it's allowed, to plant weed. So people.
Yes, are there any medical problems that comes with this weed?
As far as I know, there's no medical problems. Actually, cure it keeps you healthy because you can see bird eat it, animal eat it. So anything which is alive in this world, it eat weed. Even snake, they love it.
Mukoma Ras, murikunditaurira kuti kufuta mbanje it's good for my health.
Yes, it's good for your health. Because you don't need to use a lot of medically prescription. Finding my tablets with my friend, whatever I'm on it every day, they're drinking 15 tablets a day. And the rest of your life, you're drinking 15 tablets, so your body don't get used to your real life. So if you take 2 or 3 spliffs a day, you're already curing your disease. You don't need to take any tablets. Like asthma, malaria, cancer, it cures a lot of stuff.
All right.
Yes, there are studies because it has side effects. It has got no any side effects.
Hang on, Mukomaras. Let's have a conversation. You are telling me that if I've got asthma here today, ndikaputa mbanje, I'll be cured.
Yes.
Wow.
I thought there's a process.
Wow.
Panama properties are not derived from cannabis. Batira, not in its form. So
that's why they call it medicinal.
Exactly.
It's not the Mbanje that makes you high.
No.
The high part, the high element in the Mbanje is taken out. And then the medicinal elements are extracted because it helps epilepsy, it helps asthma, glaucoma, multiple sclerosis. But it's not the part that makes you high. Okay, it's the medicinal part. There's a big difference between medicinal Mbanje and ordinary Mbanje. A big difference. Medicinal Mbanje does not make you high. Okay, ordinary Mbanje makes you high.
You know what? There's a person, there's a Zimbabwean, Ariku California, and a license Mbanje and then processing it into different forms. If people could invite him, per station, or sort out, he is well versed nekuti I think he specialized in that, kuti anyatsotaurira vanhu kuti this part and this part works and this doesn't. You know, just blindly using cannabis. I'm not making facts. You can easily go into my research programs. You can actually see. Cannabis has always been considered as gateway to class A drugs. Has always. And it's a slippery slope. Hence why we need a prescription in order to even kana uri wekuiputa irikupa even vanuputa, you know. But there's a reason for doing that, and that's why you need that prescription.
Yeah,
we need kungoti vanoshandisai ndosaka muchizoona vamwe vachizviitira weti chaiyo akagara apa kana kutadza kana kuconcentrate. Others instead yekuti vanenge vari depressed, rather than making them calm and then being able to function, they're not function. Yes, they are calm, but they are not able to function. So you need
that prescription, Petra.
You can
that
function.
prescription is for the medicinal Mbanje, not the ordinary Mbanje.
And what I really liked about this person, it's exactly what we see kune vanouya vaine maissues ema-drugs and alcohol, especially cannabis. Cannabis mazuano haisisiri mbanje yamuri kutaura imimi yamaiti Malawi gold and so forth. Aiwa. These days vanokwanisa kuisa cocaine, they lace it.
No. You're totally talking. No, that never happened. No.
Yes.
No.
It happens, Rajon.
I want to argue with
yes,
that.
It happens.
Okay.
Got it here in
Look at you. What does it mean?
Put it that is HIV medication.
I'm sorry, guys.
Mbanje.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I will not be doing justice if I don't read a few comments that have been coming through here through our WhatsApp and Skype. Now, if you are out there during the show and we're discussing these issues and you'd like to participate as well, or maybe you want to comment on what the panelists are saying, you're always free to maybe throw me a message per WhatsApp 0798 4455349. That's 0798 4455349. Right. Pane zvimwe zvinhu zvokuti handikwanisi kuverenga because it might cause controversy. But anyhow, let me see if I can read a few of these. This one is saying, DJ, can you ask Vapfefe? I saw a tweet, someone commented that he has pulled out of Bindura Primaries. Yes, Vapfefe announced here, I don't know, it's months ago now, that he was not going to run at all there. So that's answered for you there, Komo. This one is saying that DJ, I think on this occasion I would like to agree Namkoma Tafadzwa. Sally is honestly wrong to say she would castrate Chanisa. That's kind of there in Leicester. Which one is this one? This one is saying Sando kuna Chief Soshe. And Suzati maybe Pataura Chief Soshe. Someone to say. Hanzi panevano vakukanganisa show yedu nema emotions. That's one of the listeners there writing to me. But there are some people that are now disturbing the show because of emotions. I don't know, Nkoma, what you mean by that, and I may not see what's going on there. But anyway, I'm just reading what's coming here. Thank you so much.
Can I ask a quick question there?
Yeah?
Why did Peve withdraw from the MDC primaries?
Well, we were never told there. He in fact, he announced it here. He said that he would not go. He was not going to participate. But I think he said for personal reasons or something like that. But you can always ask him.
Yeah, because I didn't hear that.
Yes, Pepe said he was not going to.
He did withdraw. He
did.
He did say he's not contesting.
Yeah, he did say he's not. I still remember that vividly, and live on radio he said.
Maybe I wasn't there.
Right, this one is saying Ndimkoma Cliff warikutiwo ha DJ mabvunza wrong munhu rasi awa wana kukurira mugeto here dzinopengesa if not used for medical purposes plus people abuse Mbanje. I think that's for you, Oma.
Angani vanhu vakapenga nembanje vamunoziva mimi. Kupenga nembanje. Anybody know that you weren't made or crazy by smoking weed? Nobody.
I know plenty.
This one is saying Anzi Wangu, ask anyone who was at BMC between 1994 and 1999. A guy in my stream akaputiswa the peer pressure. To this day, dzichiri kutenderera musoro. Right? Wow. That's incredible. How do you know that Mbanje dziri kutenderesa musoro in this day and age? Whoever was at BMC between 1994 and 1999, and would know this guy akaputiswa Mbanje ne peer pressure, and to this day, you know, it's still up there in the medulla oblongata.
Yeah, DJ Sodza, panyaya Mbanje inini chandakanzwa ndechikuti ukaputa uchiri young, like, you know, when the brain is still developing, and that's usually one of the teenagers and so forth.
Yeah.
It can have my mental, my effect at the mental on development of brain and so forth.
My lasting issues.
I've heard that even.
It can have my lasting issues.
At a certain age, especially the teenage years, those ndakanzwa kunoku tinozinzwa vachizvitaura zvembanje, and they talk about iwo age kuchivayo kuti those age groups are critical to not getting zvakaita sembanje. So that's one of the challenges vachaita government kuti how do you regulate to make sure kuti these things are not reaching out to, you know, these high school, you know, kids.
Okay, thank you so much. Koma Mandishona is writing to us saying that it's called substance misuse. I work in a hospital, I think he's in a mental health hospital, and Zino Pengesa, let's not lie to each other. Koma Jabu notiziwa Mbanje. Koma Jabu, and Mbanje imviro dzekuenda ku. What do you want to say? I can't read this. Mbanje imviro dzekuenda ku heavier drugs. How about the smoke itself into your lungs? Yes. How about the smoke itself into your lungs? For those of you who work in theater, who have seen people with lung operations, basically, or maybe lung cancer, you would testify that you know, if I show you a lung or the color of a lung of a person who do smoke and those that don't, it's a total different ball game we are talking there. But anyhow, there we have it. Time 8 minutes after 12. Kwana zikatatandara zvakwana Zimbabwe. We'll meet again next week. Now, this is what's happening. Wachamisa is coming on Saturday, and there's a rally on Sunday to Bedford, and you know, we will tell you in due course some of the questions that have been given and some of the questions that are still coming to WhatsApp that people want to know. Saka wapfebva wapromisa kuti he will work tirelessly kuti tipuwe mukana wokuvabvunza vachamisa some of these questions. So it will not be Thursday, it will be any day before he goes back. But as soon as what I'm trying to do is probably on Sunday, I'll get hold of Vapepe Tona Kuti. When can we conduct this interview? And we shall advertise it accordingly for those who want to listen to it. And of course, the podcast will be published as well. So, Motari Siranzira Ndetiga. We will meet again on Thursday, same time, same place. We will be right here. Right. Thanks to everyone who have called and those who have participated on WhatsApp and also on Skype. Atenda zvangu Zimbabwe. Muwe ne weekend yakanaka. Vari kuno ku UK, have a nice bank holiday. I'm told the weather will be nice indeed. So enjoy it whilst it lasts. Goodbye. Dokusirai makateerera kambo. Toridza kambo kapi kosari for the last Cape Page zero. Which track do you want, sir?
Pardon?
Which track do you want us to finish with here?
I don't know. I
don't
really don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
You caught me on. What's the guy? The guy with the dreadlocks.
You mean Mkomaras? You mean Mkomaras, George?
Isaac Kiro.
Yeah, no. The one that dresses up in the army uniform. Hey, I can't think of his name now for anybody. Pardon? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, give me a job praiser.
Job praiser, which one do you want?
Any job praiser, I don't care.
Kutonga Barogamba.
I don't care what it is, okay? Just as long as I can hear his voice. That's enough.
Oh, right, okay, right. I thought maybe only teach his voice is what you want to hear.
Yeah, but I can't hear Teacher's voice because he's coughing so badly. So I settled for second best, okay?
All right, okay. I'm sure Koma Teach will be very happy with that.
He knows he's number one. Why must I keep on telling him?
Oh, he does. All right. Okay, Zimbabwe. Doing my messages. Come on. Mkomaras.
Wrong.
There's someone who is saying some really nasty things for you here. Let me just read it for you. Kwanzi statement dzao Mkomaras George muri kunzwa dziri straight here naye Mkoma Sodza ndo vamwe vari kutopengeswa nadzo. What do you say to that? Kwanzi ndimi rutopengeswa nadzo Mkomaras.
Aiwa zvitombopengesazve ndozvinotoita kuti vanhu vana isimba roti ndovauza kuti aiwa mukasvota Mbanje utanyo hwenyu hunenge hwakadzikama musamhanye nana chiremba because mukatarisa vazhinji vacho mukatarisa kuCanada ukona kuAmerica uko they are turning their medical to marijuana because it's really working. Even ichembere dzechirungu chaidzo dzinoita kuti I used to forget things, but since I'm using marijuana I'm remembering.
Medical marijuana, Joe.
Right, okay.
Medical marijuana.
Okay, hold on. Kwanzi komana takupedza ka kwanzi nevamwe vari kundinyorera kunoku hanzi DJ I really concur with Mkoma Tafadzwa. There are people on this show that simply hate Nelson Chamisa wholeheartedly. So really, to be honest, avarukuti vanomusapota, and you know that some people don't like him, but that's how it is. No, not that one.
For democracy.
Yeah, it's democracy. This one is saying, can you play Kamboka Mkanya new track? Kupedzisira chirongwa. Mkoma ndabvunza salika nai.
All right, play Thomas Mafumo's new one.
Some of the panelists do not like Nelson Chamisa, and that's the end of it. That's the message coming. Right, again, Chaki Kamboka.
Zimbabwe.
Yavesarudzo vakomana.
Yavesarudzo Zimbabwe.
Yavesarudzo vakomana.
Yavesarudzo Zimbabwe.
Yavesarudzo vakomana.
Kwemakore mangani.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that is the end of this entertainment. Now stop it now.
Zimbabwe.